Raph, where the hell are we?
We're at Union Station.
What the hell are we doing?
We're going all the way up Yonge for no reason.
That's right. Oh, there's lots of people. Wow.
Next stop, Harbor Street, Jack Layton Ferry Terminal. Next stop, Northside Stop, Yonge Street.
Okay, we're now officially on Yonge, right at the start. So normally on the 97, it only goes down to Yonge and Front. But since we're trying to take all of Yonge Street, we've gotten this bus at like 5:30, and the 320 actually does the part of Yonge Street that the 97 doesn't, between Front and Queens Quay. So this is now where the 97 starts its route on Yonge. So we're going all the way up Yonge by bus. So we're not taking the subway. So we're taking this up to Eglinton Station because it shortcuts there. And then we're switching to the 97, which will take us up to Finch Station. And we're getting Viva up to Newmarket, and finally the YRT 52 up to almost the end of Yonge. And then we have a surprise. We just passed Ontario Line construction on Queen Street there. And this is the Eaton Centre. This is Shooter Street, and down there is Massey Hall and Fran's, which is a really good diner. And also one of two locations really close to each other in downtown Toronto. And we have what was formerly called Yonge Dundas Square. It's now called Sankofa Square. And this is where tour buses stop and pick up people. And then the other Fran's is right there. I think that one looks cooler than the one on Shooter. This is Wellesley Station, the only bus terminal on the U of Line 1. We've now reached the part of Yonge Street where the bike lane starts. I think it stops like a little bit later. The intersection between Bloor and Yonge, one of two scramble intersections in Toronto. The other one's at Yonge and Dundas. I didn't film that one though. So at this point, the Yonge bike lanes switch between cinder block barrier bike lanes and just painted lines. Presumably the painted lines are for driveways and intersections, so I think that's where they've mainly been showing up, like here. This is, in my opinion, the best part of Yonge, between here and like St. Clair and Eglinton. Raph, you remember Rosedale, right? This is the North Toronto sub, and this used to be CP's passenger station.
It's also a Bangor LCBO.
Yeah, it's now an LCBO.
But yeah, it's like one of the best in Toronto, I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, the LCBO here.
Okay.
There's that and the one down south on Lakeshore.
Oh yeah?
Those two are apparently the best.
Right. So despite there being gaps in the cinder block in the bike lane here, this bike lane's actually fully protected. And it's protected by a legal injunction. Go up to St. Clair with the most northerly streetcar tracks in Toronto. So I kind of miss filming them, but now there's planters sometimes. Oh, there's one. There's planters protecting the bike lane. We're coming up to the Beltline Trail, which is a former rail right of way. And also that's the where the Davisville subway yard is. But this is the York Beltline Trail. This used to be CN's Toronto Freight Bypass. Now it's a really cool multi-use pathway. I find the Davisville bus terminal really cool because it's right below the TTC headquarters. So now we're bunching with the other 320S. So I guess we'll see who gets to our stop first. This is the part of Yonge where the bike lanes stop, but we do have some Cafe TO stuff starting to pop up there. Taking a temporary diversion off of Yonge Street to go into Eglinton Station. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The Eglinton Station bus terminal is also pretty cool. They have bus bays like Islington and Warden used to, but they got rid of those. I think just to build a condo. Also, they were like inaccessible. Eglinton also used to have trolley buses, and they would go into those bus bays. So I think 2 of the bus bays had trolley wires. Noise. I don't.
Suspicious noise. It's probably nothing.
It's a really funny noise. There is a myth that Yonge Street is the longest street in either North America or the world. It's probably not the world, but it's also not the longest street in North America.
I have heard in the world.
Oh, okay. Well,
In the world, but
yeah, it's not that either. That myth comes from Yonge Street turning into Highway 11 around Holland Landing, but Old Yonge Street, which is the street that goes into Holland Landing, is where we're going, only goes up to like about Lake Simcoe. So we're not going all the way up to Highway 11 because that goes up to like Minnesota, around like Lake Superior. So this is the part of Yonge Street between Eglinton and Lawrence where there's no subway stop for a really long time, and that was done when they were building the Yonge extension to save a little bit of money. Also no subway stop for a really long time between Lawrence and York Mills and York Mills and Shepherd. And that's part of the reason why the 97 exists as a bus, is because it's supposed to be a local service on that part without subway stops, but it also extends south for some reason. This is Lawrence, and Lawrence also is a really cool bus terminal, but I think they're still working on it right now. So we're on the 97B, which goes off of Yonge Street for like a really short amount of time. It joins up over there at York Mills, but that means we're not taking Yonge Street all the way. Unfortunately, I don't really care. So if you have a problem with this, I urge you to write a complaint letter and place that down in the comments, because it'll boost engagement. But this branch is actually like way more scenic, so I'm happy that we're doing this. The West Don River that we're going over right now. This is York Mills Station, named after what was previously the village of York Mills here. I like the sign that just says connection to GO Transit. That's a unique feature I don't think I've seen anywhere else. Of course, you have the York Mills GO Bus Terminal, because GO Transit has a trunk on Yonge Street between here and Finch for some reason. The bus is struggling up the hill north of York Mills, because York Mills is in kind of a valley, because it's really close to the Don River. Here's where the 401 is. Well, that's actually a slip road. This is the 401. And you can tell because it takes a long time to go through it. Now we get to what was previously North York Center. This is the famous part of Yonge that's like so close from the center of Toronto, but it has all these towers. Of course, these towers only last like a block that way, and then it's just single family houses. One of these buildings is North York Center, and by that I mean the old North York Center, or the old North York Civic Center. Oh yeah, I think it's this. This is Mel Lastman Square. Last mayor of North York and first mayor of Toronto, I think. All right, Finch Station. We're gonna go to the Finch Go Bus Terminal and get Viva Blue now. Finch Station, famously home to the two Tim Hortons right next to each other. And I think there's a third. Finch Terminal, this is actually open since the last time I came here. They got like a convenience store, which is pretty cool to have at a bus terminal. They sell tickets here, damn. And of course you got these maps. I think this one's out of date, I'm pretty sure, but the one over there is in date. These are always really bizarre to me. They also never work, apparently. I think they recently removed the card reader from these. These used to have a card reader, but of course you can just use the Presto machines now. For some reason, normal YRT buses have like one stop in Toronto before they get to Steeles, but we're on the BRT in heavy quotes bus, so we don't stop before Steeles. So we've now crossed our first regional line, and we're now in York Region. Recently replaced their LED next bus displays with I think those are e-paper displays.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's flickering on the camera.
Maybe it's backlit e-paper for some reason.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
But that seems a little redundant.
Oh, for night.
Oh, that's...
I'm always amazed at how big 407 interchanges are. I guess that's a product of it being built out here and also in the 90s. We're coming into Richmond Hill Center / Langstaff GO Station. This is the pedestrian bridge that leads to the Langstaff Station. There's some decent bike infrastructure here, but it quickly goes away. There was a bike box back at the intersection there that I didn't report. Here you have to like cross over one lane of traffic and then go into the lane here. That's kind of dangerous. That's not, yeah. Well, it's not the worst. I've seen worse. Yeah. The bike box there. Of course, cars block it, but you saw it for like a second. That's what was back there. I think those are pretty good, but the infrastructure kind of goes downhill afterwards. We've entered the bus lane that will probably disappear in a few stations. And our first Viva station. Remember that is spelt with all one word. I'll bring this up every time I ride Viva because I think it's really funny. The part of the Viva Rabbit Way on the Orange Line west of Vaughan Metropolitan Center is used more by Brampton Zoom than Viva. This is where the bus lane disappears for a short amount of time as we go into the town of Richmond Hill, which we don't make any stops in, by the way. We stop like just outside of Richmond Hill for some reason. And now that we've left the main part of Richmond Hill, we can now make a stop. And now that there's space to widen the road so we don't have to take lanes away from cars, we can have a bus lane again. So the bike lane on this part of Yonge is probably the best one we've seen along Yonge. It's actually raised above the road. Unfortunately, I don't think it goes on for very long. I think it stops pretty soon. Now the bike lane is back on the street, and you go in the middle of the turning lane and straight lane. Oh no, there it goes again. Okay, so it's raised now again.
I think a big thing about theme of this area is just inconsistency. You have bus lanes and then you don't. You have good stops and then you don't. You have good bike lanes and then you don't. It just back and forth, back and forth. It's never like consistent.
Yeah, I can see that. This is also Bernard Terminal. By the way, this is where the Blue B short turns. For some reason, at every major intersection, the raised bike path goes into the middle of 2 lanes, and then it becomes raised again. Or I guess, oh no, I think the raised bike path actually ended. You can see here it's just a painted bike lane now. It's not raised above the road. Now it's just Sharrows, I guess. And now it's gone. Okay, cool. And also, the bus lane ended with the bike lane, it looks like. We're just on the street now. And keeping with the theme of good things coming to an end, the sidewalk seems to have come to an end, at least on this side. On the other side, there's a sidewalk.
So not only the bikers get shafted, but even the pedestrians.
Yeah. I do really like the wire T normal bus stops. I think they have a pretty good design. Unfortunately, you're going to be waiting in them for a while because wire T doesn't really have good service. This is also Oak Ridges, by the way, which I think is also the name of a neighborhood in Oakville, but that might be Oak Ridge, like singular, actually. It feels like Viva hired a designer and that they used all the money to hire the designer instead of running service for Viva. This is also Bloomington Road. If you walk an hour that way, you get to Bloomington GO Station. And this is the CN Works, what is now CN's freight bypass after they stopped using the Beltline. We're now going through downtown Aurora. And that was a pretty nice public library back there. That was the building that was that like big beige brick building back there. It seems to be pretty nice downtown. And it looks like we actually stopped in downtown Aurora this time, unlike Richmond Hill. We're now entering the brand new bus lanes that were like just built up here in like Aurora Newmarket. They're racing the local bus, and I think we're winning now. That bus beat us because left turn has priority for some reason. This is some crazy like 80s atrium type architecture. It's not real atrium because there's no atrium, but it's inspired by atrium. I think it looks pretty cool. So this is Davis Drive, which is what Viva Yellow goes on to Highway 404. And that means we're almost at Newmarket Terminal. I really like how Viva stations have like this fare zone imaginary line, but like it's never enforced. Turning onto Davis so that we can go to Newmarket Terminal. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that bus was on time. Time is I was like maybe 3-ish minutes late. Just guessing on when it was supposed to show up. For some reason, YRT has 2 Yonge local routes that are both called Yonge, the 99 Yonge and the 98 Yonge, and they split it. Bernard Terminal. I think it needs to be said that YRT's livery is really good. Unfortunately, you won't see it a lot because they don't operate a whole lot of service. You might have seen it on the way in, but there seems to be some sort of like parking lot fair going on. There's also a Viva Yellow Van Hool. Viva Yellow feels like the Shepherd line of Viva. YRT has the highest prices in the GTA despite having probably the worst service. $4.40 cash and $4 Presto is insane. I don't know how they get away with that. So we're on the 52 Holland Landing. This will take us most of the rest of the way up Yonge. But for the rest of it, we'll talk about that when we get there. Also, you can't have a video going up Yonge Street without mentioning Forever Young, the video where John Gabe walks up Yonge Street, and it takes him like 2 days.
Well, checking in again. I have walked from the lake to some random highway.
We weren't brave enough to do that, so we're taking buses. Get a better view of the parking lot fair. I don't know what they're doing here. I don't know what this is. Deviate through this seemingly dead mall, but I think it's just because it's like 9 o'clock a.m. on a weekday. It feels like a mall shuttle from Newmarket Terminal. It doesn't feel like an actual route yet.
Next stop, stop 2518 on Yonge Street.
So that's the Yonge Street stop. It doesn't say next stop Yonge Street, it says next stop whatever on Yonge Street, which, I mean, yeah, it says Yonge Street at least, but like sometimes they don't say the stop name. Also, we skipped like that part of Yonge Street. That's Davis Drive down here. We skipped this like small part. YRT is like, I think, the most comfy seats on a local transit agency in the GTA. That's not including the Go Transit single deck buses, so I think those are a bit better. Another thing that YRT is the best in that's not service. We already have a sign of things to come with these silos.
Next stop, stop 5942 on Yonge Street.
See, that stop announcement doesn't tell me anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to
We have so
get.
far heard 3 on Yonge Street.
Yeah, one of them like was actually Yonge Street, but the other 2 were like unnamed roads. There seems to be some kind of like multi-use trail here.
Next stop,
Either that's the sidewalk or
2527 on
shared
Yonge
sidewalk
Street.
and bike path. But it's crazy that it's all the way up here. Although I think they just redid this section of Yonge Street. Anyway, we're turning off Yonge Street now. That's Highway 11. Yonge Street pauses for like 50-ish meters here, not even probably, and then we get back on Yonge Street down here. And here we are crossing the Barrie line. I think I said earlier that we crossed the York sub, but we actually crossed the Barrie line. We've reached downtown question mark Holland Landing. Seems like a pretty nice place. This bus goes through a really nice area. It's a shame that it's rush hour only. This is the 9 o'clock bus leaving from Newmarket, and it's the last trip of the morning. Now this may look like the end of Yonge Street, but it actually continues like a few meters that way. We gotta get off soon.
Next stop, Queensville Side Road at Yonge Street.
And Yonge Street continues right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Worth noting, this is also an electric bus, signified by the E in front of the bus number there. Apparently, it's garbage day, as Raph just pointed out. This is our reality for the next like 20 minutes, I think Google Maps said. We can probably do it in faster. Oh, the bus just left. So this is like if we wanted to claim that we walked up Yonge Street, but we didn't want to actually walk up Yonge Street, so we just took the bus up to the part where you have to walk up Yonge Street and started filming there. This is actually like a fairly developed area, like old rural development. So I guess on this part of the road, the houses stop, and they're just on this part now, and I think the lawns have also gotten bigger. There's like a lake behind there. You see that? This is waterfront property. I also appreciate how these aren't just big open lawns and there's actually like a lot of trees on them. Somebody put this water feature like behind a bunch of trees. I don't know who they're expecting to see it because they put a bunch of trees in front of it. I don't know if you can see it down there, but that is the end of Yonge Street. And now the houses seem to have stopped on both sides. There seems to be a golf club all the way on the end of Yonge Street.
Oh yeah.
That sucks. How big is it? Oh, that sucks. That's so bad. Please respect car.
Singular.
Yeah. I guess it's like the concept of car. Anyway, here's the end of Yonge Street. Here, dead end. And okay, it's not a sticker, it's just graffiti. I feel like the sign would have more stickers on it for being the end of Yonge Street and all. You want to touch it? Touch it in Yonge Street.
Touch.
Anyway, if we wanted to like trespass, we could go further. I'm just really glad that I didn't have to walk 2 days to get here. All right, Raph, I have a surprise for you.
Oh no.
So the 52 that we got up here was actually the last one for the morning. So if we wanted to wait for that, it'd be like 6 hours.
Pretty short wait. Okay.
However, it's true. However, YRT has this thing called YRT on request. So we're gonna take that instead. The thing about this is I think they have like mini buses to do it, but I've heard that like sometimes a car with the YRT logo just shows up. So we could literally be doing government funded Uber. All right, so we're gonna book the YRT on demand or on request by Via. I don't know if they're good or not.
I'm in Africa.
Yeah, it starts you at 00.
Okay. Turns out I'm not in Africa. Thank you. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna book it for like Yonge and Queens Road.
Yonge and Queens?
Road, yeah. The road down at the bottom there.
Oh, sorry, yeah. And we're taking it to Newmarket Terminal, right?
No, we're taking it to East Gwillimbury Go.
East Gwillimbury Go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, cool. Finding the perfect ride.
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Okay. Estimated arrival 10:25. Okay, that's pretty. Okay.
10:25. What time is it now?
It is 9:56.
Okay, yeah, that's.
So it's around 10
we
minutes.
Should book that now.
Yeah. All right. 4:40. Oh shoot.
What? Oh.
Extra passengers.
Okay, get
extra
it.
rider.
No, worth noting that it looks like you can increase or decrease the me, but it doesn't let you. It's grayed out.
Boo. No, so now I need to find another. Okay, that kind of makes sense.
Imagine if adding one passenger like significantly increased the wait time.
Oh, don't jinx it. 16 minutes. I think it's the same one.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Book this
Book
ride.
that ride. Cut all
Oh,
of this out. Oh,
there you
we
go. All right, perfect. In a white Toyota Camry.
Okay, yeah, okay. So I was right about the government-funded Uber thing.
We're just getting in
Cool.
a white Toyota Camry.
That's great.
Pray for us. Hopefully we'll come out the
Yeah,
other end just
hopefully
fine.
the white Toyota Camry has a YRT logo. It's white, so I'd imagine that it does. Honestly, it wasn't the worst microtransit experience.
I've seen far worse.
Oh yeah, no,
You
it
know,
gets really bad in some places. Yeah, no,
It-
Via
it's- yeah.
Via I would give whatever, like the Via app, I think I would give a pretty good score. Good for YRT for making like this concrete patch for the bus stop instead of just putting it in the ditch. I think they have some stops that are just in the ditch, but this one is good. Also, the driver is like way faster than we thought it was gonna be. I don't know if you can see that.
Already 6 minutes away.
6 minutes away, and I think we've been walking for like 10 minutes maybe
15.
or something.
Actually,
So
I
yeah,
think 15.
25 minutes was like really generous. So it seemed to like deviate into like this senior center, I think that is. Is that what that is?
No, it's a public library.
Oh, it's a library. Okay, so they might be picking somebody else up or possibly dropping somebody off. I don't know, because before we booked it, it was like sitting at Newmarket Terminal. So this might be a pickup. We might be riding with somebody in like a Toyota Camry that has like 4 seats for passengers. Update, he's on his way now, I think. So he will be here in, what does that say, 3 minutes. And it's been like, oh, what is he's going so fast?
Speeding.
What? He's going like, okay, that must be like okay, yeah, there you go, he's stopped now. That must be like a delay or something. I see it. It's right there.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. East Willenbury?
Yeah.
All right.
Rafael, right?
Yes, Rafa.
Give me 1 sec. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So am I going straight or?
700 meters.
No, I just have to go back this way.
Turn left. Approaching a railroad crossing. In 180 meters, turn right. Turn right, and then turn left. In 70 meters, turn left, and then turn right. Turn left, and then turn right. In 50 meters, come to a stop. Come to a stop.
Alright, have a good day. Eh?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Okay. And that's the bus we want, but this is the end of the video. That was my first microtransit experience. Is that yours also? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't had microtransit.
How was it?
Honestly, it was pretty good. I don't really have much to complain about. The app works, it's functional, it gets a job done, and it looks nice too. The driver arrived, and he dropped us off.
I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's all you really need.
Yeah, I mean,
The
microtransit
only-
probably works for like places like this. Not really in like populated areas, though. I feel like really
Yeah.
densely populated areas.
The only thing I can say is that it doesn't exactly feel like a bus because it's not a bus, it's a car.
I think sometimes it can be a mini bus.
Yeah, but,
But
you know,
I think that might not be in like the section that we're in. That might be in another section.
yeah, you don't always need a minibus.
Yeah. Also,
Sometimes a Toyota Camry gets a job done.
yeah. Also, the car got like smelled a lot like cologne. I don't know. That's like a one-off thing probably, but
Yeah.
I don't know if
yeah.
that was like the driver or like the actual car, but.
My nose is completely non-functional, so I didn't smell things.
I like the smell of this bus better, I'm gonna be honest. Alright, that's it, I think.
Perfect.
Cool.
I still have more to say. Contrary to popular belief, I ride a lot of transit. Crazy. I use a ride tracker called Trainlog, which I put all of my transit journeys on, but because I take transit to and from my house, and I don't want any of you weirdos knowing where I live, that account is private. However, I've now made a public account where I'll put all of the interesting, non-doxing trips into for your viewing pleasure. There will be trips I took for videos, but also the interesting journeys that I didn't feel like filming, like when I took the Canadian to Sudbury to ride the Bud car to Cartier and then took Ontario Northland back to Sudbury, or when I took the DRT Pulse at 11 PM from Oshawa to Scarborough for reasons. You can find the link to this public account in the description or on my channel page. Okay, video over now.